Hello everyone, we're here out in North Main Divide Road. This is an area just an hour outside of Orange County. It's beautiful out here. I'm here with Johnny, who does a lot of backpacking and actually has his own YouTube channel, The Backpacking Biologist. We're going to be doing a comparison between a rooftop tent and a ground tent.
Right, so I've been backpacking since 2016. I've done a ton of ultralight backpacking, so my tent is made to be ultralight. It's only 3 pounds, which is really cool. But yeah, I'm excited to see what this is all about. I've never done any kind of overlanding. Yeah. I definitely know the first setup when we did this morning, it was a little difficult. More difficult than I expected it would be. I thought so.
Yeah.
It's huge.
This is giant.
No idea how to do this one. Life's a learning experience. Are we gonna unbuckle it?
Yeah, we'll unbuckle it. See what's underneath.
Oh, it's got a zipper too.
Okay. Oh, it's over here.
It's gotta be over there. Well, you don't think it should just be sliding around in the back?
Yeah, probably not. Let me Google this. It looks like it needs something else, right? Unless it just...
Would they be inside here?
Would it slide into this?
Got it.
But then the nut doesn't fit when you do that. Oh, here you go, like this, guys. See this? You got it too? Yeah, perfect. Do you want to show it? So I just got to figure out what side how do we want this to open. Good?
Yep.
Nice. So take these off.
One side.
Yeah.
Got it.
Sweet. I've seen them bent. Should be fine, right? Should be fine.
I don't know. I've always half-assed a lot of things. So
I think, okay.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, I think it's
gotta bend this one now. Yeah.
You see it? I don't know why these bolts are so short. I feel like the other ones were longer. Keep these washers. Ready? You want to do a shake test?
Shake test.
So you go on this side, I'll go on this side, let's see if it moves. Okay, we'll start on your side. Ready, go.
Looks pretty solid.
Feels good. Let's try this way.
Feel we're primal right now. Like smashing things, shaking things. Ooh.
Just in case. Okay, we'll go this way. So this is like a used tent that was given to us for this video. What kind of tent do you have?
I have a big Agnes copper spur.
He's not sponsored by them either. So this is not about that. We're just trying to do, an honest review of these two systems, and we're gonna be comparing the two. Now, I've been overlanding and shooting overland adventure videos for the past 3 years. I've got to experience a lot of different types of setups, from camper vans to pop-up tents to rooftop tents, hard shell, soft shell, you name it. So we're gonna come up with some categories and just compare them side by side. Something we talked about already is time to set up.
Ease of setup.
Portability, overall comfort of the system. And that has subcategories So warmth, the bed actually, so the mattress, the amount of light that gets in, the breathability of it, and the waterproofness of it.
Price.
Durability, the girlfriend score. If like you're traveling with 2 people, so you and your partner, how does it feel? And if we come up with any more along the way, we'll just include it and put it over this. Looks.
Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up each tent and see how long it takes. We're gonna time ourselves. You're gonna do the tent up here, and then I'm gonna set up my tent.
Let's do it.
Okay.
So we'll start the timer. And this Roam Adventure Co tent, rooftop tent, is a soft one. So it has this, I don't know, vinyl cover. And I don't like these because they're hard to get on. They take some time to take off. And you are stuck with these zippers that get caught on everything.
Uh-oh. I'm not stopping the timer.
These are definitely less delicate to set up. It's like a lot of yanking and pulling and climbing.
Whoa. Oh, seems flimsy.
Seems flimsy, right? Okay, done. I think it's the
fun version
new
here.
design, yeah. Wait.
Okay, there he is.
Is that it though? That still feels weird.
I mean, it looks better.
Yeah. It's holding up. All right, so with Johnny's help, stop the timer.
I already stopped it a little while ago. You're at 4:41.
Dude, they're supposed to be like a minute. These are supposed to be 60 second
kind
setups.
of pathetic, not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
this one, and this is the thing, right? So how much did you set it up actually? Because it's like, this comes out, I think there are like strings and poles for this thing. You know, we're not even really on level ground, so I would have to level it. So we didn't take that into consideration.
But I will
So-
say, the amount of moving parts that is required to make this is still less than a tent.
Yeah, as far as like actual pieces.
Definitely one advantage as well is like when you're backpacking and car camping, the terrain really dictates where you put your tent. You know, like if there's a lot of gravel, a lot of rocks, I can't put my tent there. Here you can just park it wherever, and you have a solid bottom no matter where you are.
And you also oftentimes get another layer of either weatherproofing, so like another layer of rain protection or another layer of sun protection, right? So if you needed to, you can just chill under here. And there's a lot of cool attachments for stuff like this. You know, skirts that go all the way down.
You have like a little picnic down here.
And stuff like this.
Well, speaking of expensive, how much does this thing cost?
It costs that much.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's not super cheap. So yeah, Johnny, let's go ahead and set yours up. And we'll see how that goes.
Let me show you what I got going over here. Everything, well, almost everything I need for backpacking fits in this backpacking backpack. So I'm gonna set up over here. Now I'm gonna try to set this up in normal speed and not try to go as fast as I humanly can, just to make it really fair. Because to be fair, Christian never set up that tent before. And you know, I still have to set up like my sleeping bag, all that stuff. Oh, you wanna start the timer?
Yeah, here, I got it. I'll start.
Okay.
Okay, ready, set, and go.
Okay. All right, these are my stakes. Here are my poles. Here's my rain fly. Now the thing with this ground is there are a lot of rocks. So I don't know if I can, oh yeah. See, I might need a rock to smash it. And that is one of the downsides to having tents like this is you would need a mallet. Oftentimes I'll use my hatchet to hit these poles in. Next we have the poles. that's the thing. You could just sleep in like this. This will keep the bugs out, but it's also gonna be really cold. And if there is any chance of rain, oh, you're gonna have a bad day. Okay, that's the base part of the tent. Next we have the rain fly.
Tell me when to stop.
No, get in there. All right, that works.
Nice. Dude, you're 445.
But here's the thing though.
Yeah.
I don't have my sleeping pad.
Okay, so we're pausing to take a look at the actual structure we got here. So you could stay out of the rain, you could stay warm, you could stay away from all these mosquitoes, but you're not gonna be able to have a good night's sleep at all.
I think the thing that was pretty bad about this is just, I mean, you can hear my voice. I'm like still breathing hard. You know,
Yeah, you have to go around each point. And...
I've set this thing up so many times and still like, I did try to go a little fast, you know?
Yeah.
And I was just like banging away. So it did take some energy, you know, and since I'm really familiar with it, it went a lot faster than probably if it was gonna be your first time. But yeah, I think just the setup takes a while. Sometimes, honestly, sometimes when I go car camping and I get to the campsite at night, I'm so lazy and I don't even want to set up the tent because I know it's going to take like 7 minutes to do, and I'll just sleep in my car.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Is,
so it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, much rather just not have to deal with it. It's kind of an inconvenience.
100% an inconvenience.
Definitely. Okay, cool. So
yeah,
let's
so
keep
I can
on going.
do, this is a thermarest. Now you almost always have to have a sleeping pad. You have to elevate yourself from the ground because you're gonna lose a lot of heat through conduction in your back. So a good sleeping pad is worth its weight in gold. And these are inflatable. They do have foam, but these are gonna be a lot warmer. And what's cool is I have this cool little machine here. Oh, you see that?
That's nice.
And it usually takes 20 breaths of air to fill this thing up. Now, once you're backpacking and you've been backpacking all day, the last thing you want to do is do 20 huge breaths and stuff this thing.
Yeah.
So this is a godsend. And I think it is a little faster too than actually breathing.
Yeah.
Now, a downside to this right now, normally I would be inside my tent doing this.
I was
so
about to say, you're letting in all
mosquitoes.
the mosquitoes, yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good. And you just do a few breaths at the end to top her off. And voila, that's there. Next is the sleeping bag.
Nice. What's your preference for a sleeping pad? Pressure?
Oh, pressure?
Yeah.
I always do it a little harder than I think.
Yeah.
Because throughout the night it'll actually get a little deflated. Not done yet. I do have a pillow, which is also an essential. This one should be pretty quick to inflate though. Okay, ready? Okay. Woo! Hit the timer.
Nice. All right, we're at 9:02:92.
My God.
Yeah.
And I'm sweating.
Yeah. And you're letting the bugs in too.
So that was a lot of effort.
Yeah.
You know, usually when I set up tent or set up camp, I'm at my leisure and it would take way longer than this. I mean, like imagine if it was raining.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'd set this up. Whereas yours, you could set it up in the rain pretty easily.
Yeah, it'd be easy to set up.
Yeah, so the great thing about this is super lightweight. It's designed to be carried. It's only 3 pounds. And you can see it was pretty small, right? I think a positive though is it only takes one person to set up.
I think another huge point is the footprint. So the overall footprint is smaller. So the places where you could possibly set this up are so much better. When we were coming in here, you know, we came to the end and because we wanted to put the rooftop tent right here at the end next to the ground tent. But, you know, we can't do it because there's just physically not enough space there. It's uneven and it would have been impossible to turn around and get out of there. So I think that's also a huge advantage that this system has.
Some trade-offs. Lightweight means you have to have less material. And less material means that you have to give up some warmth So
Yeah.
it's gonna be colder than your tent. And also the waterproofing. Like if you see, this is very thin. And although it's good for light showers, I've definitely been camping when it was like a downpour and everything just starts dripping. And it sucks.
And another thing that I think is worth talking about is like the fear factor, right? So like if you're in something like this, if you're in bear country or you're in coyote country or wherever, you know, the smallest little thing could bump up against this and your heart starts beating really fast. And I'm sure we've all been there. Versus the rooftop tent, when you're in there, you feel pretty safe.
I've definitely had nightmares sleeping in here of mountain lions collapsing my tent and jumping on me. Like 100%.
Yeah.
When I went backpacking Yellowstone, I had to take sleeping pills because I was in grizzly country, and that was ridiculous.
Yeah, there's nothing crazier than grizzly country.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But overall, I love this tent. It's great. It's great for backpacking.
Yeah.
You know, not so much against animal defense, but you know, there's a reason why I've held on to it this long.
Yeah.
I don't plan on upgrading anytime soon.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So let's maybe hop inside the rooftop tent and we can talk about some of those features that are inside. So we're gonna hop in here, one, to evade the mosquitoes, and two, to check out some of the stuff that's going on inside the rooftop tent. Yeah, come on in. So first impression that I'm getting right now is we have our camera woman here with enough room to sit at the back, plus me, plus
and
Johnny.
me.
So there's like it's definitely spacious.
But I gotta say, this is really comfy.
This mattress is extremely nice. This is one of the thicker mattresses I've seen on
feels
a
warm,
rooftop tent.
too.
Something that I really love, I love being high up. There's a better breeze in here. You know, I feel safe. I can take my jacket off now from the mosquitoes. So the bug protection is really good. So
I do like how
Yeah.
there's a lot of sunlight as well. I
But it
could
wouldn't
open
be-
the sides,
Yeah.
but not the top.
No, and that's what's great about having this plastic top is that you could leave this open during the rain and you'd be totally
Oh, yeah,
fine.
that's cool.
So you could sit here and just watch the pitter patter of the rain, which would be great. If I'm laying down, right, there's definitely enough space for two. And if you have kids with you, you could have enough space for you, your partner, and potentially one or two kids in here.
Yeah, family
so,
four.
yeah, family four could sleep in here. Not comfortably, but they could totally do it. There's a lot of little things to hang your gear from up here. So they got tons of hooks that in this band, which I think is really great. You could potentially attach pouches onto here to keep all your stuff organized, to keep all your clothes organized and off the bottom here. The overall feeling in here is that it's really well constructed. You know, everything's double stitched. The material is very thick. It's definitely waxy and waterproofed. And the ventilation is great. So I think as far as comfort goes, like pure comfort and in a way luxury when camping, I think you can't really beat a rooftop tent.
The feeling I feel right now is security. I feel secure in here.
Yeah, that's how it feels, definitely.
I guess the downside is you could only go where the car can go.
Yeah, huge downside.
Right? With backpacking, you can go, I can go anywhere. I could climb up rocks, I could do
Yeah.
whatever I want.
The adaptability of this is that you're stuck with it in its current position. It is fixed, right? So as far as orienting the tent in a position that you like, you are sort of at the whims of your vehicle and what your vehicle can do and the flatness of the ground to a much larger extent than you are the tent. The tent has so much more adaptability behind it. It could be put in places that this rooftop tent will never go. Something else that is great about a lot of rooftop tents, I think most rooftop tents, is that they get very, very dark. So if you like to sleep in, or if you've come into camp late, and you don't want to have to wake up right when the sun comes out, or even if you want to take a nice nap in the afternoon, you could come in here, zip all of this up, and it gets black dark in here. So that's something that I don't think you can do in the ground tent.
I wake up as soon as the sun comes up.
Yeah.
Sometimes, usually always 6:30 in the morning, 7 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then also if it's hot, if you're doing desert camping, you're gonna wake up because of the warmth. The heat is gonna wake you up too.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Yeah, this will definitely keep you cooler and warmer. It has slightly more insulation.
I'm pretty impressed with this. I don't like how this is open. Look. Hi. See my hand? Hi, how are you? I'm waving to the mosquitoes out here. Come inside. I mean, I hear Velcro.
There is Velcro on the outside, but it never really closes 100%. You know, this will never be, I think, 100% closed because of that. And that's how most rooftop tents that have the hinges right here are. So the way that I was thinking of the girlfriend score is that I'm always camping with my girlfriend, and we love rooftop tents, and we're kind of always looking for like the more comfortable, safer option. Rooftop tents are probably second only to campers and camper vans.
When I've brought my girlfriends,
Oh, wow, yeah.
I don't want to get into it, but you know, they have to definitely be a little bit more adventurous to stay in the backpacking tent.
Yeah, I know. I remember you were telling me about, because a lot of times you kind of like break them into their first backpacking adventure. That's kind of your go-to move, right?
Yeah, well, let's not give out all my secrets. My tent can fit 2 people. I wouldn't say quite not as comfortable as this, but it can fit 2 people side by side.
Yeah, the beautiful thing about this is a lot of things in the rooftop tent are kind of set up and then you're good, right? So I'm talking specifically about like your bedding. So you could have all your blankets in here and your pillows, and depending on the tent, most tents have a little bit of extra space that you could do that if you're not rocking, you know, giant body pillows and that kind of stuff. We'd have enough space that you could close the clamshell still and not have to do your bedding at all. Just pop it open and it's there. So you don't have to inflate anything. You don't have to bring out the sleeping bag and let the down inflate and spread out.
That's where this is absolutely superior, because right now I'm thinking about how I don't want to break down my tent, but I have to.
Yeah.
You know, I have to deflate my sleeping pad. I have to stuff my sleeping bag back in its bag. It's really cumbersome.
I think the major disadvantages we're looking at with the rooftop tent are, number 1, in my opinion, is cost.
Yes.
Cost. This is going to cost on the order of 10 times as much as your standard single or double tent, right? So, you know, a double tent would go for something, like a good one would go for something in the range of what, $200 to $300?
Well, mine is actually $600. So mine is like, was top of the line in like 2016.
Got it.
They could get up there in price.
Yeah, so top of the line, $600, and I'd say top of the line rooftop tents, you're looking at 3,000 and up. So that's, you know, 5 to 10 times more expensive.
And you have to have a car to be able to put that on. I drive a Prius, so I wouldn't be able to stuff this thing on there.
No, there is some you could probably put on there, but it would be a lot of extra cutting into your Prius. And that's another thing too. It's not only the vehicle, right? You can have a sick Jeep, you can have an awesome 4Runner, but you have to buy a whole rack system for it. When you're overlanding, weight is everything, right? So you have tons of trade-offs you got to make, right? So you're getting more comfort here, but at the cost of so much weight, right? This is, you know, 10 to 20 gallons of water you don't get to bring. This is that extra comfortable chair that you don't get to have. It's firewood that you don't get to have. There's so many extra little things that make overlanding enjoyable and fun that are at the cost of a rooftop tent. So that is another huge consideration, is that your gross vehicle weight is going to be hugely impacted by this. So now I think what we'll do is we'll hop in Johnny's tent and we'll check that out and see how it feels in there.
All right. Come inside my crib. Yeah.
Wow, yeah. Even though it's super lightweight, I gotta say this feels very well made. You've had this for how long now?
7 years.
Dang, yeah. It looks like it's really holding up well. I mean, this feels like a great, $600 well spent.
Yes,
so.
And it feels also like it could last like at least another 4 years before I even think about getting a new tent.
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, so as far as like bang for your buck, I would say that's huge. The length is a little bit shorter, right? So head to toe, It's a little bit shorter. The width is for sure shorter. So I would say pretty close to double. It's pretty close to double as big in the rooftop tent than it is in the ground tent. So yeah, what's been your experience with this, as far as comfort and all that goes?
Yeah, you could easily fit another person here.
Yeah.
If I were to take up this sleeping pad, you can see right here.
Yeah.
That would be the other person. So it's kind of nice. You
Yeah,
put
that's pretty
your
nice.
things here, or maybe down there, like extra clothes.
Yeah.
A big part of having a tent too is being able to sit up.
Yeah.
So sitting up, you're able to sit up, but you can't stand. Over there, you had a little bit more headroom, I could tell.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, it looks really good too. I would say aesthetics wise, I like the lines, honestly. Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
like Instagrammable if you go up into like the lakes with a bunch of mountains in the back. The last time I went car camping, we had 60-mile-per-hour winds, and this whole top was like down by my belly.
Oh,
Like
wow.
it was so, I was so scared that I was gonna fly away that I had to go out and I tied 2 extra tent stakes on the back with some rope just to make sure I don't
Yeah.
fly away at night, because it was insane. So wind is definitely a factor. And like I said before too, the water, if it's raining a lot, it will seep through. This
Yeah.
is water resistant, but it's not waterproof. Also, if depending on the ground, you have to really pick and choose where you put the tent, because even though the top may be good with the water, if you choose an area where the water will seep down, I've definitely had places where water has come down from the bottom, which is not great.
Yeah.
Also, too, I've slept on ice before, and no matter how good your sleeping
Yeah.
pad is, it's going to be very cold. And I think the bugs is a big thing as well. I haven't experienced it, but I have my dad, my friends have gone backpacking before where there were so many mosquitoes that they didn't leave the tent at all. And you just hang out here all day, all night. And so you really have to feel comfortable in your tent.
Yeah.
You know, if this wasn't a comfortable tent, you wouldn't really want to do that. Girlfriend score, or whoever you want to bring, you definitely have to be, at least you bring a partner who's more outdoorsy or more adventurous, because the comfort required for this is not as much as the comfort that you will get from an overlanding tent.
Yeah, for sure.
And in my experience, there's a lot of fear barriers when it comes to camping in general. You know, and the ones are that I find that people have are, one is the dirt.
Yeah.
And these are people that actually don't really go out that much, right? So the dirt scares them, even just getting dirty. The next is going to be the animals. The next is going to be bugs and snakes, that kind of stuff. And then the weather, being cold or being too hot.
Yeah.
So these are just fears that if someone is kind of wary about camping to begin with, you really have to kind of ease them in to having a ground tent. Yeah, like even just now, it took me 9 minutes.
Yeah.
9 minutes to set up this tent, blazing speed. And the last thing I want to do right now is break it down, which I know I'm gonna have to do, but now I'm gonna have Christian's help because now we're not timing each other.
exactly.
But yeah, that's just the hard thing, because now I have to deflate this sleeping pad, you gotta roll it up, gotta make sure everything is clean, zip things up and put it in a certain way that it would fit back into the bag, and that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Whereas yours, you just fold it up like a lunchbox and then you're done.
Exactly. Go. Very nice.
That actually would be a cool idea, to go overlanding and having your backpacking gear, and then you could go backpacking too with that option.
I think that's a lot of people do that. I think I've seen a lot of people have like breakout bags that they have, so they could potentially overland out somewhere and then they go to the next thing. But I think a lot of overlanders like prefer the
luxury.
the waking up, the fact that you bring out the giant table, you roll it out, you have your sink, you have your shower if you want it. So there is definitely an obsession with comfort with overlanding. And I think that's what it's for, right? Like, we go overlanding because we want to experience the outdoors without a lot of hassle of the camping experience. I'm gonna wrap this one up. I think putting away a rooftop tent is a little bit easier than packing it up, minus this thing. Oh, and another thing too, these ladders are great, but I've had them fail on me. I've had them break either at the end right here, or one of these little tabs that you use to close them will fail. And so you can get them for like 80 bucks, but that's just another moving part that you have to take into consideration.
think at the end of the day, they both have pros and cons, and it really matters what kind of adventure do you want to have, because they're two totally different kinds of adventures.
Exactly. I'm someone who likes to be comfortable. I like to go with my girlfriend. I like to go with friends. I'm someone who has kind of a hard time sleeping, so having a thick mattress and the darkness is really big for me. But if you're someone who likes to push it, who likes to go the extra mile, who wants to get the better spot, who likes to hike, and who likes to really feel nature and everything that nature has to offer, then the ground tent is, in my opinion, the way for you.
It does give me a lot of versatility. I can go backpacking with it. I can just stuff it into any kind of car. I don't have to have an overlanding vehicle to take it out. And I could go to a bunch of different kinds of places to go car camping or backpacking. And I do feel that connection with nature when I do sleep on the ground, when I'm out there. And I actually enjoy that little fear, you know, knowing that there's like animals out there and this unknown. And it's part of me, part of my growth that I think I want to experience, you know, connecting back with nature, connecting back with the land. And also I love the exercise aspect of that ground camping can have with backpacking, and you just have a lot more options.
Absolutely, yeah. So, you know, it was really cool to be able to come out here with Johnny and make this video. Johnny was a big part of why I got into camping in the first place. This is something that we're both really passionate about and something that we love to do. So being able to share with him and come out here in the great outdoors has been like a really good day. So thanks, Johnny, for coming out.
Yeah,
and hopefully we get to
thanks for giving me my first experience of overlanding as well.
Next time we'll come out for longer, and then we can get out further and really discover some amazing trails out there.
Yeah, I would love to have that full overlanding experience.
Yeah, hopefully. So stay tuned. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Awesome.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Man, these bugs.
Damn, dude, I know. Can't wait to go home. Can't wait to play video games,
I need a
bro.
massage now.
Same.